Ladies, gentlemen, one and all, welcome to Dawn of War Soulstorm Unification once again. This is my, fourth time of trying to record this. And, my voice isn't liking me for it. But I shall persevere. Because, let's face it, like 90% of the failures were actually me screwing something up. Long story short, first time, I hit the stop record button by accident. Second time, the mic started having some rather major issues. It started popping. Not in the sense of the gain was too loud, but in the sense of the signal was going a bit wibbly. And third time, my attempts to rectify the signal issues resulted in the volume levels being reset. So, hey ho. But I've slept on it. I believe I've got everything sorted. I've calmed down a little bit. So let's play. Of course, me being angry is ironic given who we're playing today. That being the Khorne Berserkers. This is going to be a best of 3. So, it's going to be me, Emperor's Children, and the Thousand Sons versus the Dark Angels, Blood Angels, and Space Wolves in a best of 3 series. Of course, they're AI, so it's... I don't know. But yes, they're all replays, so please keep that in mind when watching the video. I'm sure I'll point out all my mistakes, or some of them anyway. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and load into the game. Well, it's lucky I paused the recording there. That took forever. First load of the day and all that. But yes, here we are on the first map, the name of which is completely slipped my mind, even though I was only just looking at the loading screen. So, in position 1, we have myself as the Khorne Berserkers, or World Eaters or Rage, depending on whether you go by the mod name and faction name or not. I'm just going to call them the Khorne Berserkers from now on. We also have, in position 2, the Emperor's Children. In position 3, we have Thousand Sons. In position 4, we have the Dark Angels. In position 5, we have the Space Wolves. And in position 6, we have the Blood Angels. What is it with the Imperium and all of their sort of chapter names being either space or angels? There seem to be a lot of those. Well, not all of them, because obviously you've got like the Imperial Fists and all that, but... Yes, indeed. Now, I have turned off, I believe, if I've done it properly, if it's carried over. Yes, it has. I have turned off voices because the voice lines for the Khorne Berserkers are a little bit imbalanced in terms of sound. So, yes, there is that as well. Alright, so... just woke up. I'm going to need to get back into the swing of it. Alright, so... first group of blood cultists I got, went and captured that relic. Why? Because that's kind of important for the late game. Assuming it even gets there. You can probably tell by the time here, this is a bit of a short game. And don't do what I do, which is forget that your units exist after they've captured a point. I did have voices on at this point when I played this game yesterday about 8 o'clock in the morning. So yes, so don't do that. Make sure you use your units properly. In the meantime, Khorne Lord over here doesn't like that scout very much. Wasn't able to stop them from capturing the relic, but it doesn't matter. That does count as the first engagement in the game, technically. It's not a big one, but it's something. Funny thing about the Khorne Lord, he does 240 to 290 melee damage. That is ridiculously powerful. He still only has the sort of standard 1750 health, but against infantry and heavy infantry, according to that, I'd say he's pretty good against commanders as well. Yeah, he can dish out some damage. Like on Captain Tycho over here, who appears to have it in for my blood cultists. You know, heretics and all that. I've also managed to get out some Teeth of Khorne. Between them and the Khorne Lord, Captain Tycho is not exactly longed for this world unless he gets out of there. And some Screamers of Siege coming in. The blood cultists won't shut the fuck up. That's something else I don't particularly like about the that voice line is really loud. And unfortunately for the Blood Angels, we have managed to catch their tactical squad in melee. So of course they've gone berserk and now cannot be controlled by the AI. So they're going to be most likely wiped unless we really screw this up. Nope, we wiped them. Yep, Suneshi Lord got the final blow. In come the Space Wolves to try and assist their Blood Wolves brethren. And immediately retreating again because they saw the army that we had. Ow, my ears. My only regret is letting you talk, Blood Cultist. But yes, for some reason, this is a sort of common theme throughout these games. The AI for the Thousand Suns tends to go very heavy on the demons at first. Now, I don't know if it was a coincidence, but I tend to go for rubrics first, because the demons kind of need a shield. Something to take the damage.
I have no regrets.
Yeah, that audio isn't positioned either, that blood cultist thing. It's got a couple of scouts here that were invisible and now aren't. And now are again. Yes, wolf scouts, I believe, start with infiltration, if I remember correctly. Meanwhile, the Screamers of Tzeentch have decided that they're going to take on the entire Dark Angel, and yeah, that's not gone well. Although they did manage to get the Wolf Lord quite low. Oh, they just did they just train a wolf? Or yeah, they did. I was going to say it looked like they'd upgraded him, but no, it's just training. Meanwhile, I'm trying to take down this barracks as soon as possible. I believe my thinking was, well, I can slow them down a bit if I kill this barracks. Although I seem to have forgotten that if that costs all my troops, then that's not really going to help. Meanwhile, the Emperor's children here, taking out some scouts and some blood claws. Yeah, blood claws, they're not great, really. There's better options to go for. Especially given how expensive they are. The Wolf Lord and his pack has decided to engage the Suneshi Lord. My Khorne Lords come in as well. I've popped the ability, Blood for the Blood God, which allows me to do extra damage at the cost of one of my squad members. Very useful at tiding the turn of a battle. Although the unit it kills is random, so you just have to pray to Tzeentch that it takes the unit who's the lowest health. There's a Grey Hunter squad here. I don't think they're going to die to this. I mean, there's a Suneshi Lord there, but the cultists themselves don't do that much damage. Although the plethora of noise marines coming in might do some damage. No, the Grey Hunter's got out of there. Got a Sorcerer Lord here with summons. We've got a Lesser Siege Spawn. I can't remember what each variety does. I know it summons different... you know, this breed is a true destroyer with more health and greater damage potential. Okay, there we go. And Blood Angels, looking in a bit of trouble. The Dark Angels were a bit content to just hang around here for some reason. I don't know why the AI does that. I'm guessing it's like just sticking your units in a safe place where you build up or something. But because they were so out of position, that pretty much allowed us to push into the base of the Blood Angels. And they are looking to be quite on the back foot, to say the least. There's a Doombolt going off there, doing basically nothing. I don't know why like, the AI upgrades Doombolt, and while it's decent at disruption, it's not really good for damage potential. So the standard variation isn't enough, really, in my eyes. My demon host worker there getting caught out because I built an altar of Khorne and forgot about it. You'll find that's a common theme with me. I forget about my units. But hey ho. Blood, skulls, glory. He constantly screams. Yeah, normally I would stick my cultists on melee, but I've given them plasma guns now, so I might as well have them at range. Oh, sounds like the Zinch Lords just died. The demonic entity there that, well, was there. Pretty good economy for me. Thanks to being Khorne. For those who haven't seen my previous Khorne video, the economy of Khorne is mostly based around being in combat. If you're in melee combat with the Space Marines, you get increased requisition. If you're in melee combat with demons, you get increased power, and if you're in combat with commanders and vehicles, or melee combat with commanders and vehicles, you get increased both. Obviously commanders will increase it more than basic units. Of course, you still have to be tactical. You can't just rush units in, because replacing units is, well, it's not the most expensive thing in the world. Like these Teeth of Khorne, they're only 50 to reinforce, but I think it's like 200 for the squad. But yeah, it's, you still need to be careful with your units. Although they definitely, yeah, don't do what I'm doing here and just getting them all killed. I've lost my commander as well, which is a bit of an issue. Oh, lone wolf rushing in there, getting immediately sonicked to death. Why are the Dark Angels sending in their Tech Marine? That's another interesting thing the AI does. Oh my god, how fast is that Wolf Priest? He is very fast. I didn't realise he was that quick. They are going to attack my altar of Khorne. Yeah, you can't upgrade these, they're only like one. It's just one and done sort of thing. I could have activated Blood Pulse to damage the Rune Priest, but I don't find Blood Pulse to be all that useful, except when you're surrounded by melee units, or if you can draw in, draw the enemies into it. But yeah, details. Rune Priest there, kind of in a bit of spot of bother. Yep, the Rune Priest and the other thing, that's name I've already forgotten. Completely deaded. Lone Wolf, really not going to survive that. Although, to be fair, he survived longer than the Lone Wolf normally survives. But I've rebuilt my army and it is coming in with bloodletters. And is coming in with bloodletters? Am going in with bloodletters. Yeah, my grammar first thing in the morning isn't great. In fact, my grammar full stop isn't great. Details. The Dark Angels have remembered that they have allies and have decided to move up slightly. Got one here with a plasma cannon. That's slightly annoying. That means they are tier 2. I think. No, tier 3. I don't know. No, I think it is tier 3. Inferno cannon. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. I'm over here just pottering about, really. I should be down here fighting, but I seem to have forgotten about that. Meanwhile, I have got out my Khorne Herald. He's basically a elite bloodletter that provides a range damage reduction aura for all nearby units. As in, they receive less range damage, not they take more. Not they deal less range damage. Now, you might be wondering, why have I equipped my Teeth of Khorne with autocannons? Isn't Khorne mostly a melee faction? Yes. However, I like having like a ranged squad with autocannons, just in case of any like flyers, just for support, really. Especially considering I've now got bloodletters as well, and two pretty much fully upgraded Teeth of Khorne. This squad needs their leaders, but I always find it better to go Skull Champion than Aspiring Champion. I never seem to go to the Berserkers. And this is where the leaders would be helpful, because they have crack and melted grenades. Against that Razorback, that's pretty much my only option at the moment. Or do what I'm doing here, and just let Tzeentch deal with it. Well, I say Tzeentch, 1,000 Suns. Chaplain just used the demoralizing shout on the Chosen. I think that's what it's called. Got a Khornite's Dreadnought out as well, for me. Yeah, look at his happy face. He's so happy to be in battle. Or angry, one of the two. Whichever. Oh, something's... I'm not sure what that was. I think the Ferrum Furnace just cast a spell on that, or an ability on that Dreadnought. Probably Entropy Bolt. The Ferrum Furnace might want to consider using its auto-repair ability. Yep, it has. I can't watch this 4 times. So I kind of know what's going on. Yes, we have Dark Angels force basically gone. We've got a couple of tacticals left. We've got a Scout Marine squad. The Dreadnoughts are down. Space Wolves, again, mostly gone. They got Long Fangs, they got a couple of Scouts, they got a Lone Wolf, they got Wolf Priests. They randomly got an Iron Priest just standing there. I'm not entirely sure why that is. But yes, as you can see, despite the fact they're being shot with heavy bolters, bloodletters weren't taking as much damage as you'd normally expect. Thanks to that damage reduction. Got the Chosen of Khorne squad over here, who's more content to fight each other than the individuals over the other side of the map. I mean, I get it's thematic, but I don't know. I just feel like that could cause some issues. The whole fighting. Ooh, I have actually upgraded my commander, my god. Commander hero upgrade too. So now my... I can't actually see his damage output, but my commanders are pretty beefy. Just wait till they get tier 3. Then Commander gets even more beefy. Hey, like, he starts to deal like Demon Prince levels of damage output. It's ridiculous. My Khorne Dreadnought has gone directly into the base to start hacking away at things. On 297 health, I might add. It's not exactly the best idea in the world, but well, doesn't matter. I've decided to head directly into a hail of plasma cannons. Again, not the wisest decision in the world, but hey ho. Ah, I finally got Blood Crusade. Oh, it's tier 4, isn't it, when the Khorne Lord upgrades? Yes. He now has a jump pack, and he has 330 to 403 damage. Did you just stab that guy in the penis? Repeatedly? Well, that's just rude. But yes, Khorne Lord, despite how powerful he is now, still not great versus structures, so probably not the best place for him. And he's still not the most tanky person in the world. That should be reserved for Dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts are pretty good. And that's the Dark Angels down. Now what's left? A Vindicated Siege Tank, and some Long Fangs, and an Iron Priest and some Wolves. And that is it. How much damage does he do? 145 to 160. And he's got his Relic Shield equipped. Oh, here he comes. Oh, a lone wolf has spawned. That was a, oh, for God's sake, again! What is up with the Chaos Lords and stabbing people in the penis? That's just uncalled for. But as you can probably tell by now, overwhelming odds. This game will go to Chaos. Might as well fast forward it slightly, because there's nothing interesting that'll happen at this point. Unless, I don't know, they call it auto bombardment, which they don't. So that is game 1 to Chaos. I'd show you the score screen, but the load times seem to be a little bit silly at the moment. So I'm just going to jump directly into the next game, which for you will be a mere matter of not even a second. And here we are in map 2. Inner Strength, I believe this one's called. I think it's based on like a map from the Lawn 5 campaign. Winter Assault, specifically. And as usual, same races, or same factions. So I don't actually know all the positions, but hey-de ho. I'm guessing this is position 1, which will be me. Position 2, Thousand Suns. Position 3, Emperor's Children. Position 4, Dark Angels. Position 5, Space Wolves. Position 6, Blood Angels. Now, this game is off to a slightly rude start. The Thousand Suns have decided, screw you, Slanesh, and have taken the point that is actually meant for the Emperor's Children. And the Emperor's Children have actually helped the followers of Tzeentch build it, which was nice of them. Glad to see they're not bitter. Meanwhile, first engagement is going on over here, with some pleasure cultists being attacked by an assault scout squad. They seem to be having a little bit of a dance going back and forth, but I don't think anything major is going to happen here. The British cultists don't seem to be engaging them in melee, and there is 2 more squads of them coming in, so yeah, it might be wise for the assault scouts to withdraw, which they have. Got to capture the critical location instead. Meanwhile, I've captured the critical location up here, over on the east side. And yeah, so far a relatively quiet game. At the moment. It gets worse later on. And for some reason this map, it has a Rocket Rangers banner and a Head Crushers banner. I'm not entirely sure why that is. I think they were they like meant to be props, but they forgot to make them props. I'm not sure. Yeah. Blood Angels coming in and attacking the Pleasure Cultists again. Meanwhile, I'm going straight for the Dark Angels base. I most definitely do not want the Dark Angels getting a foothold. Unfortunately, that has drawn the ire of the Space Wolves and the Blood Angels. Now, what I should have done is gone straight for a building, like I did last time. But, yeah, I didn't end up doing that, sadly. So, it's probably time to scram. Tactically retreat. Yes, that's the... because, yeah, I lost a lot of units in this engagement. And that is a lot of requisition I am not getting back. Because this map... really low on requisition. Like, there's only... well, let's count the points, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, they all get 2 points each, the opponents. Meanwhile... oh no, there's another one here as well, so that's like 11. Still a massive fight going on over here while I'm doing that. I'm not feeling comfortable about my chances here, so yep, pulling back. But yeah, so one player from my side is not going to have a point, because... wait a minute. Oh no, that is correct. I miscounted completely. There's another one there. So okay, it's just the Zinch player being, or the Thousand Suns player being a dick. Okay, that's nice of them. So the Emperor's Children should have had 2 as well. Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. So that's two each. So that's 12 points. But still, 12 points on a 6-player map. That's not a lot, really, in the grand scheme of things. Got some screamers there going and attacking the Dark Angels. Although they are getting a little bit too far into the base. That might backfire on them. I swear I just had a power sword going off, but I don't know. The Emperor's Children trying to take that critical location. In come the doggos. And some Blood Angels, but that's beside the point. Space Wolves picking off a group of Thrall Wizards that seem to have... I don't know, I'm guessing they were going for the critical location as well. Although luckily for the Thrall Wizards, they've mostly escaped. One got murdered, but... clearly his fate was to die. Pleasure Cultist squad then going a little bit too far into the Blood Angels line. Slaneshi Lord thinks about doing the same, but decides that's probably not the wisest decision. Noise Marines pop their drugs and flee, although the drugs wore off and reduces their model count by 2. I, meanwhile, popped blood for the Blood God and pretty much wrecked this Space Wolves force here, getting me some nice requisition in the meantime. And this time, unlike last time, I have actually trained some Khorne Berserkers, I believe. They're not here. I swear I had some Khorne Berserkers. Huh. Oh, there they are. Yes, so, I have actually trained Khorne Berserkers this time, which is, surprising for me. And this squad seems to have got stuck. Now, people who know this game better than I, why is it that this Space Marine squad here, this last member, is just invulnerable? I mean, he's clearly protected by the Corpse Emperor because he's just not dying. And he's on fire, apparently. Yeah, the fire effect seems to have... yeah. Because I can see effects going around him, but that's the attack from the Noise Marine. I'm not sure where that fire's coming from, though. Yeah, unfortunately, the Blood Angels have pushed quite far into the base of my allies. So they're going to take out a warp turbine, but that Runescribe construct might be alright. Meanwhile, I apparently decided to pop blood for the Blood God, not just entirely sure why I decided to do that at that point. However, I have to come in here, help me allies, because that's what allies do. They help each other, unlike the Dark Angels in the last game. And thankfully for me, I managed to tie up the tactical squads in melee combat, so they are not escaping. And the assault squad as well. So this should be quite the squad wipe for, well, heck, the army wipe for the Blood Angels. That's all their forces gone. There's nothing else left for them. I could have pushed in at this point, but I was a little concerned. I didn't know what they had. So, yeah, I've mostly just, you know, not charged in when I probably could have. Got a Carnage Mechanicum out for my vehicles. And came over here and just farmed resources off this guy. I mean, I'm Chaos, of course I'm going to cheat. Get a lot of resources out of him as well. Oh dear. The Wolf Lord's come in with his wolves again, but he's got, like, immediately... well, he got axed a question. Come on, I had to. What is with that invulnerable Space Marine? Bloody weird. However, the Space Wolves have a Dreadnought, which is actually a bit of a problem because we don't have any anti-vehicle. Because I don't think I've upgraded any of my... I'm upgrading them now, but I wasn't upgrading the leaders mostly. Which is where most of my anti-vehicle comes from. I do, however, have a Dreadnought, which is pretty good against vehicles. Plus the Noise Marines could always activate their, was it Increase Harmonics or something? I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, the Space Wolves have taken the relic, that's a bit of an issue. I did actually forget to send a squad to take the relic on this one. It's a little bit irritating, but hey, oh, what can you do? But we are in pretty good stead at the moment. We're doing quite well. I'm not managed to get my entire army killed just yet. I nearly did at the beginning of the game, but now I've sort of got a nice army size up. I'm still on 15 and 8, but for my max caps. And obviously there's the issue that I'm on actually supply blocked, to use a StarCraft term. But hey ho. Actually, do you use that term in Warcraft as well? I don't know. Yeah, now unfortunately I wasn't paying attention at this point. I think my units just sort of ran into an onslaught of Dark Angels. But hey ho. I actually had to stop capturing the point in order to fight this off. I say I had to. I could have just said screw it and left, but I've got the overwhelming army size, so being Khorne, might as well. Nice resources. As long as I don't get too many of my units killed, of course. Looks like I kind of activated Blood for the Blood God, but it looked more like Berserk Fury. Possibly, I don't know. Because not all the units are red. Some assault marines over there. Don't seem to be doing much. Just wandering around. Another dreadnought coming down. Blood Angels. Yep, Blood Angels over here. They've got a dreadnought, a Devastator squad, an assault marine. So they're rebuilding their army slowly. And yes, the Space Wolves really don't want me to have that relic. Are they going to survive, or are they not? Yes, is the answer. Yep, that space marine is still kicking. Now, unfortunately, the AI, the way it works... Oh, a couple of lone wolves there getting murdered. Yeah, lone wolves really not good. They are not tanky at all, despite wearing Terminator armor. I mean, they're free, I suppose. So I say free on caps. But yes, so as I was saying, the AI believes that is a active enemy unit and is therefore a threat. So they're going to keep attacking that, which means I have to do something to get rid of that unit. Otherwise, they are just going to sit there forever, attacking that unit. So, what's the best solution? Well, I shall tell you. That is, to go and murder the player whose unit it is. I see that they're making a vehicle, so I just start throwing a load of grenades at it eventually, I think, from what I remember. Yep. Dreadnoughts are having a punch-up. It's like a boxing match, except with Gundam. No, wait, that'd be the Tau, wouldn't it? Yeah, whatever. It's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, there we go. And my Dreadnought came out on top with 52 health. That is about as lucky and as close to the wire as you can get. It's now down to 45. I don't think it's going to survive this engagement, let's put it that way. Although, it may. Problem is, we do have Space Wolves coming in to assist their allies, while the Blood Angels are, well, they're a bit more preoccupied with just rebuilding their army than anything else. My autocannon team is getting attacked from the rear by a Dreadnought. That's gotta hurt. It was at this point I decided, you know, I'm not entirely sure if I should just wail on the Fortress of the Rock or attack the units attacking me. I decided on the latter. And yes, that Dreadnought did actually die in the end. That 45 health one, or 48, or whatever it was. So, I had another dreadnought pre-prepared. It is at this point I could be upgrading my vehicle cap, but I'm not. Instead I'm making another dreadnought, even though my pulp cap is full. Sensible. Probably expecting the other one to die, but that's got just under half health, so... I mean, 4,500 is a lot of health in vanilla. And these dreadnoughts do have a lot of armour. So, I mean, well, it says they're support siege units. They're meant for, like, they're basically meant to be tanks. Tanks in the RPG sense, not tanks in the Predator sense. And that is the Dark Angels gone. Let's reduce it to a 3v2. I did decide to try and go in for these rather annoying space wolves. But I chose a rather poor angle of attack, let's put it that way, because this building was mostly blocking the entrance, which allowed time for this ball predator to come and wreck all my infantry. Yeah, ball predators, they hurt. I also can't see because the bloody building's in the way. This is why you have camera controls. I mean, don't get me wrong, they could do more damage against heavy infantry, but yeah. I'd say the standard predator probably better against heavy infantry, but these but this one has, like, yeah, twin-linked assault cannon and heavy bolters, so yeah, problematic. The forces of the Thousand Suns have now finally stopped attacking that invulnerable marine now that he's just disappeared, and decided to come in after I retreated. I mean, as far as tactics go, that's a pretty poor one. I mean, chased by a swift claw land speeder, but and a vindicator apparently, and a lone wolf. Lone wolf versus dreadnought. That went about as well as expected, although I think it was the autocannons that took him out. That vindicator finished off one of my dreadnoughts. Slightly annoying, but hey ho. Some screamers are attacking a dreadnought, who doesn't seem to be fighting back all that much. He fired off his flamer once and then just said, you know what, I'm just going to potter over this direction. Although the ball predator with flamer and the actual standard predator, more than enough to finish off the screamers and the sorcerer lord that resided next to them. It was at this point I realised that the autocannons have really, really long range. Like, that's pretty long range, to be honest. Although why only he could attack and these guys couldn't, I don't know. Yes, I did try to finally put an Altar of Khorne on that, but my worker got killed, and yeah, they weren't having any of that. Although strangely they don't seem to be taking it yet. Yeah, I've got a Death Company Rhino out, but I see no Death Company. They have a Terminator squad, but no Death Company at all. Oh no, never mind, Death Company's out now. Yes, they're the sort of units you want against the Khorne Berserkers. Over here, the Space Wolves have decided to try and come in and attack my army. I set my dreadnought round the back, try and cut off those speeders, or not, as the case may be, as I just let one go right past me. Hit the speeder. There it goes. Oh. Yep, Terminator's coming in. Taking that relic. Not really great to use them as a SP capturing squad, but hey ho. Why do they keep sending in lone wolves? It's just a waste of resources, clearly. Hey ho. The Emperor's children and the Blood Angels are having a little bit of an argument. That goes... Down goes the Predator for the Blood Angels. The Ball Predator managing to get out of there just fine. Death Company and Chaplain Lamartines... Lamartez, sorry. Not Lamartines. Lamartez. They got murdered. And so did the Terminator squad, actually, because they decided to try and capture my relic, and I wasn't having any of it. I mean, they uncapped it, but I wasn't going to let them have it, that's for sure. And if you just heard clicking, that was my finger. So, yes. And, ooh, quiet returns. Although, the Blood Angels have decided to make a bit of a silly decision, and that is they've built a wall of turrets, essentially. Which means that they now can't get out of their base. And they've put a machine bastion there, which means they can't get out of their base if they spawn on that side. So, sensible. As well increase the game speed a little bit. Void Claw Terminator over here capturing this point. Which, again, I'm not really having any of. 3 Dreadnoughts out now. And 2 Khorne Berserkers. Looks like 3 Khorne Berserkers, 3 teeth? Yeah. No demons, as of yet. No, I've just mainly been focusing on the Space Marines because, you know, once you make the Massacre Chambers, which is like your barracks, they are really expensive to get demons. Like when you make Space Marines, it increases the cost of demons. Yeah, increases the cost of demonic forces of Khorne. So there is that minor issue. Apparently they trained a Blood Cultist squad. I'm guessing for the sole purpose of just sacrificing them. For that blood for the Blood God. Emperor's children and me pushing into the space wall space, but the Blood Angels have managed to get out a Land Raider. And it spawned on the correct side, so it didn't get trapped, unlike that Death Company Rhino there. Forces of the Emperor's children have got a Demon Prince, but it is currently in the middle of, like, well, a hail of heavy bolter fire, so that's probably not going to last that long if it's not careful. Space Wolves have called down an orbital bombardment in their own base, which can actually work as a tactic if you're being overwhelmed. Unfortunately for the Space Wolves, they called it in at a point where most of my forces had already evacuated. Either that or I noticed it and moved them out of the way. Now let's face it, it's me. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't, because I didn't notice this. My autocannon squad getting completely massacred by, like, everything. Got High Priest Corbelow over here, and a Assault Terminator squad. And a Vindicator, which I think was the thing that finished them off. Speaking of being finished off, the Space Wolves are gone. Just leaves the Blood Angels now. And unfortunately, my forces have taken a bit of a battering, as you can tell. 3 there, 3 there, 6 in that squad, so that's pretty much full strength. 4 there. Blood Cultists have 10. And I've got another Blood Cultist squad just sitting here. I'm not sure what I'm doing with them. Hey ho. But, obviously, because I'm not in combat now, only 58. in terms of requisition income. Well, that thrall wizard wasn't long for this world. Oh, here comes the Land Raider rolling along, targeting my blood cultists, who immediately break because they have 100 morale. I decided it was probably best to try and snipe this off while it was pretty much on its own. Didn't manage to get the Land Raider, but I did manage to get High Priest Khorne here, who decided to take on the entire forces of Khorne by himself. Sensible. Captain Psycho also appears to have taken a leaf out of Khorne's book and has attempted to take us on pretty much alone. Although he did have Vindicator support, I suppose. Some pleasure cultists there with a plasma pistol by the looks of things. And some warp-infested talons, except they're in range stance. Interesting decision by the AI. I wasn't particularly feeling comfortable with my situation. My dreadnoughts are quite low at this point, so best retreat slightly and let some other units tank the damage. Demon Prince stabbing the Land Raider in the back. Yes, my forces are very, very hurt. The sub Terminators are getting planked away at by some plasma pistols and las pistols, because you know that's going to hurt Terminators. Demon Prince has a real hate on for that Vindicator. And it's gone. Bull Predator probably wants to get out of there. It's getting attacked by... it's dead. Herald of Slanesh seems to have just stopped attacking. Not entirely sure why. Maybe she was using an ability or something. And this is where we discovered the fact that the Blood Angels have made a wall of turrets and walled themselves in. Sensible. But yes, this Rocket Ranger's banner and this Hedge Crusher's banner do actually count as targets, so the AI will target them down as well. I mean, well, I've not rebuilt my forces, but I thought, well, if my allies are going to attack, I might as well go in with them. The Thousand Suns are... they have a lot of demons out. Like, a lot of demons. But they've got some vehicles as well, so it's something. They have made a warp gate. I'm not entirely sure why they haven't built anything from it. Unless they've got like a practice coven somewhere. This Terminator isn't going to do a lot of damage, but luckily, Screamers to the rescue! Well, I say to the rescue. It's kind of to the rescue. The Demon Prince is very low. And I think I just heard Muriel somewhere. Yep. Yep, Muriel has decided to try and take on the entire Blood Angels base on her own. I'm noticing a theme here. A lot of units just seem to want to try and take things on... take entire armies on their own. Is it Honor Guard Banner Bearer there? Who has been charmed by the looks of it. Yes, Muriel's now pulling back slightly. While both me... okay, me, the Emperor's Children, and the Thousand Suns are all starting to swarm the place now. Turrets are going down, left, right and centre. Blood Angels are building another Land Raider to try and replace the one they just lost somewhere. I'm not sure if I caught that. Bull Predator down. Death Company. Pretty sure they're not. They're around somewhere. There they are. Yep, they're there. They're fighting as hard as they can. forces of chaos are pretty overwhelming by this point. I probably should have taken out that machine bastion, but I didn't. I was instead taking out more rather Chosen, or whatever his name is over there. Yeah, it looks like Death Company has, well, died. High Priest Corbelow is back out again and fighting Muriel, and some Screamers, and some Demonettes. Not really recommended. I mean, the Demonettes he could probably deal with if he was at full health and had support, but, no. Land Raider is back out. Some, Demonettes are just sort of standing there doing nothing. I've lost pretty much nothing in this engagement, I don't think. I finally got my Bastion of my Blood Crusade, so my commander is now super powerful, but that's pretty irrelevant at this point, as the Dark Angels, the Blood Angels, are dead. And that is the end of Game 2. Chaos is victorious. But there is one more game that I played. It was a best of 3. I decided to play the 3rd game anyway. Even though Chaos has emerged victorious from this little, well, quote-unquote series. Yes, there is one more game to play that I'm going to show you, because screw it, why not? And welcome to the bonus game, here on the Thuribis Plateau. I tried to set it up so that there was like a sort of central divide between us, and I think I've done that rather successfully. Position 5 and 7 were closed. Now, obviously, we are well aware that Chaos won this little thing, but can the Loyalists claw one back so they are not completely humiliated? We shall only find out. And here we have the first engagement at about 3 minutes. Well, I say first engagement, we fired some las-gun shots at them and then they ran away. But then they came back, because I started attacking one of their sentry posts, which they had set up here. I was hoping to grab all these points before the Dark Angels did, but I was not lucky in that. Though, of course, attacking their stuff is going to upset pretty much everyone and their dog, including these doggos over here. So yes, small engagement very quickly will spiral out of hand if we are not careful. And we were most assuredly not careful. However, I did see the Space Wolves coming in, so I did manage to withdraw my troops quickly. I've got a altar of Khorne, just in case. I could draw them close to it again, or I could draw them close to this one, whichever. Though I need to be careful, because obviously that blood pulse damages my own troops, which I found out during the last video that I did with these people. Emperor's Children, taking on the Blood Angels. Just a scout squad at the moment, there is some tacticals just behind them. Meanwhile, I'm sort of getting pushed back by Space Wolves and Dark Angels, but the Dark Angels have withdrawn, as are the Space Wolves. Although they do look like they're about to try and come in again. But it turns out the Thousand Suns have decided to come in as well, with their demons. And, I'd say assist, but they've probably just... They've just sort of got all their units killed, really, because there was no one to support them. Not sure how much damage they did, but it did draw the attention away from me for a few minutes at least. Some blood claws there, designed to run in and get themselves killed. More resources for me, I don't care. I mean, I've already got like 105 requisition income thanks to all the points I've got. So, blood armory and demon portal it is, plus the fight, obviously. Tactical squad there. Yep, they're going to have to tactically retreat. Dark Angels coming in, having a bit of a poke. My Teeth of Khorne are probably not going to want to take that engagement. We should really fight them as a unit rather than as a variety of single entities. I say single entities, single squads. Blood for the Blood God has indeed been used. So we now do a hell of a lot more damage, and that is enough to pretty much wipe that squad out. Oh no, we did actually manage to get him in. We did get him. More Dark Angels coming in. Scout Marine squads, very powerful Scout Marine squads, might I add. 1,000 Suns seem to be gathered around my altar of Khorne for some reason, but are now actually doing something. Blood Angels having a poke at the relic that the Emperor's children have taken. Blood for the Blood God popped again. Look at all that resource income. It is beautiful. Blood letters are out. The Khorne Herald is on his way up here to assist. Yeah, Blood Cultists, they have very little health, so I'm not surprised they all pretty much died. Be careful of those flames, they'll probably hurt my demons quite a bit. Or rather they would do if they actually had a morale. Because the Khorne demons do not seem to have morale for whatever reason. I'm not entirely sure what. But I'm not complaining, let's put it that way. Some Grey Hunters have decided they want to die. There will be no lone wolves left of that squad by the time I'm finished with them, unless they manage to escape. They could manage. Yep, they managed to escape. 1,000 Suns, quite handily dealing with the Dark Angels up here. Emperor's children have fought off all the attacks on their relic point, and they're now starting to push towards the Blood Angels. A Tech Marine has decided to engage my Blood Letters. Not the most sensible decision he's ever made. God, those swords are cool. Just look at them. They're sort of like evil lightsabers. God, they're cool. I want one of those. Although, obviously, if I did have a Hellblade, that would mean I would be a Khornite when I'm actually more of a Tzeentch person myself. Still, Siege has some cool swords as well. And staffs, of course. Like, where's the Sorcerer Lord? He's got a cool staff. Look at that staff. Could almost use it as like a mace. Ow, my eyes. Well, I suppose he does kind of use it like a mace, doesn't he? Hey ho. Yeah. I'd probably choose one of the Chosen swords, to be honest, because I've got a newfound appreciation with them. I've been playing them in strongholds, off camera, and yeah, they do a lot of damage when they're upgraded, especially against vanilla races. But, hey-de-ho. But yes, I'm just assembling my army, and then I think it will be time to push into their base. In we go! Charge! Blood for the blood god and all that. Now, unfortunately, Bloodletters cannot use the blood for the blood god ability, so if I do use it, I'll have to use it on my Teeth of Khorne. Also, plasma cannon. Quite annoying. But look at those resources. That is just... no. That is some prime resource income right there. I'm not actually doing anything with it, it seems like. Oh no, I'm increasing my squadron vehicle cap, which I should have done about 15 years ago. Details. Ooh, what is this? Emperor's children are going into the Blood Angels base, because the Blood Angels have left all their units over by a point on the other side of the cliff. That was a bit silly of them. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing here. I was just walking past someone firing a heavy bolter at me. It was a little dim, I must admit. That's the vehicle cap increased. I need squad cap, then I'll get Veterans of the Blood Cult, apparently. I mean, I could, you know, upgrade tier or something. But nope, nope. Apparently I am just going to upgrade my caps, which probably makes sense, actually. And I'm getting the upgrades for demons and Space Marines health. Although I believe the demons one actually increases their attack damage as well. Yeah, it looks like it does. Well, you can't exactly give you their skulls, can they? You just have to take them. That's kind of your job. And no vehicle for you. But I now have 2 Khorne dreadnoughts in their base. And a load of units. So that's really not going to go well. Emperor's children over here quite handily cleaned up the Blood Angels. I say quite handily. They're mostly down to cultists now. Because the Space Wolves have come in as well to assist. Dark Angel's pretty much dead at this point. There's not really much they can do. The 1,000 Suns are cutting off the Space Wolves reinforcements over here. So sure enough, the Emperor's children do actually have a... I'd say if the Dreadnought had actually targeted down the Brass Scorpion, they might have managed something, but they didn't, so... might have survived a little bit longer. A couple of Sky Claws getting screeched. The Dreadnought has now got stuck. The Blood Angels one. They have made a Furioso Dreadnought, or however you pronounce that. It's got flamers on it. It would actually be pretty good against demons with morale. Screechers of Tzeentch using their swoop ability, I believe it's called. Though there are a lot of horrors around here, so I feel sorry for any vehicles, like, say, that Dreadnought. Rubric Dreadnought firing away at some... I'm guessing that was a... I don't know who that was. It's probably a sergeant of some description. I, meanwhile, am just sort of sitting here doing nothing. Reasons? I don't know. Maybe I was distracted doing something. Maybe I was just having fun watching the... Okay, the game crashed. It's, every single recording something happens. You know what? Okay, that's fine. That's what you're getting today. Outcome of that, if you couldn't tell, we won. It's not saying that. So yes, that is that's that for today. Chaos was victorious. In the end, the saying is true. Chaos is the only true answer. And seeing as I know the audiences for Dawn of War and Fallout are pretty much separate, I shall say it now. Hope you all have a good holidays, a good Christmas, whichever holiday you celebrate. And there will be a video on Saturday as normal, even though it's Boxing Day. I'm pre-recording, so yeah, that should be that. Should be fine. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. I have been Caldaris. Goodbye.